Hi, and welcome to today's video. We're going to be using the 4-month Romanian infantry battle group, going up against the 126YL Gunov Corpus infantry battle group. We're bringing up some R35 light tanks, and these, I can't pronounce that, but they're a tank destroyer version of the R35s, along with a bunch of motorbikes, recon with machine guns, some Pack 38s, pack a little bit of a punch, especially against these light tanks. Both sides are able to muster some decent light tanks and some solid infantry. For Phase A, then later in Phase B we get to bring up the Panzer IVs, while in Phase C they get to bring up the KV-85s. You can see over here that I am using the Maverick point system, so that Phase A and then Phase B we get to bring in a lot more of our units. Phase B is kind of where I've built this deck to shine, whereas the enemy does get better progressively, and Phase C is where they really start to pick up, bringing in those heavy tanks and those ISU 152s. Bit of a tank battle going on here. Do manage to take out that BT7. We're just kind of slowly moving up our armor. Roll on the right side, we're bringing up some of these Romanian rifle squads, because this is a Romanian deck. One of the new decks from Nemesis, the DLC. They've got these bolt rifles with a Molotov cocktail, so they can kind of keep the distance 500 meters, and then if something does try to get close to them, they can take it out with a Molotov. We've also got these infantries, rifle squads. They've got a light machine gun that can actually move and shoot, whereas the standard MGs, like MG34s that they bring in, you actually have to be still to use them. So it's kind of cool to have an infantry unit that can move and shoot at the same time. Makes pushing a little bit easier. You don't have to leave a couple back, you can actually move them all forward while still giving that suppression. And they do come with these Panzerfaust, which are great at taking out tanks. I love the recon in this deck as well. You can see that they've got a nice costly sniper team with 2 sniper rifles. They also come equipped with a radio, so it makes your artillery a little bit more accurate, and I think more increases the rate of fire as well. So we are just moving our guys over on this right side. We've also got some support with these MG34s and some more MGs trying to line up on this left side. Some AA coming in as well, just in case they try to do any bombing runs or anything like that. Over here in the center, I brought up a couple of Pack 38s to help our ally. Large formation of BT7s just here. Just trying to keep them from making any real ground there. Bringing up a couple of mortars. really get why the AI does things like this, where they just send out single units. I guess they're trying to capture this point. But when you're getting shot by tanks and MGs, you'd think they would try to avoid such a reckless push. There's an MG here, just trying to suppress our infantry units. So we're going to try to hit them with our mortars. And they've also got an infantry gun. Quite a large stack of rifle squads here. So we are going to try to meet them with our own rifle squads. These guys are lacking the MGs though, like the light machine guns. So it's not an exchange we'd really win. So I am bringing up these R35s to help them out. And we're just bringing up a bunch of pioneers, or the Romanian version of pioneers. They have the Raider trait, which increases their stealth by 50%, and they can also stay in behind enemy lines without suffering any suppression, which is good. Mortars managed to take out both those MG and infantry gun, which was harassing my infantry units. And now we're just starting to bring these guys up. They're pretty much just a standard pioneer squad, except for instead of the Carabines and the MP40s, they're running these Mannlicher 95s and ZK 383s. They've got quite a lot of firepower. They've got the dual DP-28s, very good at dealing with infantry. But we do have the numbers on them. Bombing run here. Just want to try to get rid of this infantry gun. There you go. P40N does come in and takes out this cluster. I didn't actually realize that my units had kind of pulled up this far. When I was using my mortars, they do lack a bit of range, so when I told them to start shooting over here, they actually had to move up from the positions I did have them. It's a bit of a mistake on my end. Do have these light howitzers coming up though, so they're going to be able to help suppress some of these guys. Pioneers do make it into this bush now, and we're just bringing up a leader. It's pretty interesting. These guys actually come with a sniper rifle and a bazooka, or a storm pistol. fighters come in and take out that hurricane. We are in phase B, so this is where our deck really shines. You can see I'm just bringing in a lot of reinforcements, getting ready to push up onto this hill and over to this flag over here on the right flank. We've secured our left flank with a couple of infantry along with this force here. Allies still struggling a bit. He really does need to get up into this like these buildings here, as they are part of our flags. I'm just moving these guys up. Bit of a strafing run there. Trying to stop them from getting free shots on our guys as they run across. Took out their sniper as well. I do like this deck because there's plenty of air support. They might not get there in time. Actually get harassed by some flak. He might actually die for that. He gets away. We do have these Panzer IVs coming up now though, so that's going to help with our push. We've now brought up our pioneers up into this bush a little bit closer to the cliff. Starting to drop some artillery now as we make our initial push. Thanks to our allies' commander back here, we're providing a nice bonus to our guys here. Oh wow, their artillery does manage to knock out one of our light tanks. Got some more Panzer IVs coming up. We do manage to secure this bush. Also these units I've brought up, they've got the two MP41s, they've got the ZB24s, and then two MG34s. It's just a very powerful commando unit with the Raiders trait. Now we're getting ready to move these guys up. Pick up a little bit of fire from over here though. Luckily they're pretty inaccurate, so couldn't lose too many guys there. Panzer IV's making their way up. We do lose our bomber there. Our panzers under some leadership are now getting some really solid experience as they move further to this objective. I'm just trying to bring up some more infantry units, trying to scout out what's in here. Probably should have used some recon. This is my first game in a while, so you will notice quite a lack of recon, unfortunately. Also artillery. I don't utilize my artillery as much as I should have. I should have been peppering this spot before making any pushes, or at least drop some smoke or something. Trying to get a little bit closer up here. We just kind of want to know what's in there. We are getting harassed by their mortar fire. These are some pretty powerful infantry on their half. 25 cost, commander rifle squads with these light machine guns that they can move and shoot at the same time. They are going to make quick work of these infantry units. We have secured this flag though with our tanks. We're just starting to move on to this left flank, stop them from being able to come through this way. With the help of our artillery, we managed to pin them down and make them fall back. Otherwise we definitely would have lost that exchange as it was. But we are now starting to bring up our more expensive commandos. Got a bunch of Marder 2s coming up. These are a tank destroyer, 190 pen, but very weak armor. Basically a little glass cannon. If you can position them right though, and get a shot off before the enemy does, it can be a lot of value since they're so cheap. Now moving up. Fortunately, he just moved up a little bit too far and just got melted by these guys here. managed to make them fall back. A little bit of pressure from our artillery. It's the final straw. We've reached phase C now, so I've actually brought up some of these Pack 40s to deal with their heavy tanks. This deck's actually pretty interesting. It's got a lot of answers to things, although it does lack some powerful tanks. It still has the Panzer IVs, which are solid against most cheaper tanks, or most like average tanks. In the form of AT, it's got these Pack 40s, which can pack a real punch against anything heavy, like these KV-85s. All of its infantry, very powerful. Its artillery isn't that great, but you've got a lot of air support. You've got bombers, you've got fighters, fighter bombers, medium bombers, heavy bombers, incendiary bombers, and tank busters. So it's one of the more interesting decks that I've played with when it comes to air support. Normally you might get a few options, but never all the options like this one has. I think there's some off-map artillery maybe. Panzer IV getting taken out by this KV-85. This light tank, yep, gets one shot. Allah comes in with a sneaky tank buster and pops off one of those KV-85s. ISU 152 though, doing some damage. These martyrs though, because I've actually grouped them up behind this cliff, they do have to come through to about here before they can spot us, and they're going to end up getting hit by about 3 or 4 close range martyr 2s. So utilizing these cliffs is really important. When you have your guys set up, just kind of keep them in these bushes, keep your vehicles along this cliff side so that anything coming through here or up here is going to have to deal with a lot of units. You could do the same over on this side, but you do have to worry about this cliff being able to spot you, whereas over here you're in a much safer position, because even this cliff here can't really spot you until they get down the side of the cliff. My tank buster just came in and knocked out that ISU 152. You can see over here on the left hand side I've got quite a solid arsenal of planes. We've got our incendiary, our bombers, fighters and tank busters. So even though they are able to bring in these expensive, powerful tanks in the late game, we do have answers to them. Being able to hide these Pack 40s in this bush is also very useful. You've got the 190 pen. These ME-109s, very fast plane, 620 k's an hour, but might not be fast enough to catch up to that P40. Our ally has managed to make a decent push now. He's all the way up here. Some incendiary rounds, gonna drop onto this scouting unit. Bomber taking some flak damage there. Both of these decks, that is one of the things, both of these decks have pretty low cost, not very effective AA. Oh, the Pack 40 just getting a nice hit there on that KV-85. But where they do lack the AA, we've got some pretty decent fighters, so kind of makes it easy to kind of get that air supremacy. And gives the opportunity for some interesting dogfights. Here we go. ME-109 manages to take them out. Tank buster coming in. I don't think he's really aiming anything, he's just kind of hovering around. We did spot an ISU kind of pushing up this cliff, so I was, brought up a martyr to try to take him out. There he is. But before we can, we do win the game. So at 2,300 kills, 1,500 losses, not too bad. But yeah, thanks for watching.